And welcome, everybody, to the London Esoteric Society. We are back once more. You just can't get rid of us. I am the Keeper of Arcane Lore for tonight's session as we delve back into our Victorian-era Call of Cthulhu adventure. And I'm joined tonight by three of my wonderful players. I will, as ever, let them introduce themselves. Who are you? Who are you playing? And is there anything you'd like anyone to know about at the moment? Over to you.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Gray. I'm Gray. In Twitch chat, in Discord and everything. And I play the investigator, private investigator, Morgan D. McCrashley.
Hello, everybody. I'm Mortius, and I'll be playing the diplomat, Johann Wilhelm Fayed Sutanen.
Hello, everyone. I am Ree, and I will be playing a Deangelo, the author that really needs a break.
Everyone needs a break. But in fact, you have had a bit of a break. It is September 1890. Approximately a month after the mysterious disappearance of Miss Martha Carter during a visit to Brighton. What happened there? Only a select group of people know. And as yet, they're not talking. We'll find out whether their secrets remain their own. But we go this week to another member of the Esoteric Society. Morgan D. McCrashley, private investigator. You have been hired by a woman named Mrs. Edith Newton to investigate her cheating husband. Or she supposed that he was cheating, given that he used to disappear off for long amounts of time, with very poor explanations of where he'd been and what he'd been doing. So she hired you to find out the details. And you investigated him and found out that he had been making a visits to the house of a author who lives in London. A man by the name of Benedict Hughes, who writes honestly pretty terrible Penny Dreadful style stories. These are cheap pulp for printing in the newspapers. Adventures where the plots peter out halfway through. He's not the best of writers. But that was who Giles Newton has been visiting. So you staked out the house and you watched. And you saw Giles and another man would turn up in the evening and leave in the middle of the night. But last night you saw strange lights in the upstairs of the house. Flickering red lights from the upstairs window. And in the morning, only Giles Newton left. Returned home to his suspicious wife and got on with his life. You knew, just looking at those lights, that something wasn't quite right here. This wasn't just a normal case. An experience has taught you what happens with abnormal cases. You headed over to visit your old friends at the London Esoteric Society. As you climb the steps up to the front door on Grosvenor Square, inside the society, two gentlemen are browsing the library, having a bit of a catch-up over Mrs. Bramley's finest scones and a pot of tea James has brought up. Johann and Deangelo. I don't know how much time you would have spent together since Maddie's disappearance. Is this a regular catch-up, or is this the first sort of occasion?
Probably the first in a little while.
Okay.
The first this month, we'll say.
Okay. So
I think I would have been, dropping by on occasion to peruse the library to, read a couple of things that I might find over here, but only like on free time and to supplement the reading that I do in my own home.
Okay, so the two of you are together in the library when the doorbell rings. And James ushers in a rather striking looking man with this horrific scar down one side of his face. And Morgan, as James, the butler, shows you through into the library, you see these two gentlemen sat there, one of whom I believe you'd recognise. But for the benefit of viewers and Gray, just remind us what kind of appearance, what kind of image Johan and Deangelo make. Like, how are you dressed? What's your bearing like? Do you look like very fine gentlemen, or less so, a bit disreputable?
I will start. Deangelo is a tall, darker skinned man in dress slacks. He has a suit jacket kind of cradled in one arm. He looks a bit skinnier. Maybe he's been sick at one point in time, but still tall, still kind of imposing. And he has what looks to be like a leather bound journal in one hand.
And Johan is looking similar to how Morgan saw him before on the train. Maybe the suit got a little bit more expensive, but in general, just like a normal suit combination. A very impressive beard, as is casual, as usual at the time for a man in his position. And he's just closed the book he was reading and made eye contact.
Mm-hmm. And how is Morgan dressed? We know you'd...
Morgan is actually dressed really simply, but not. He has the money, and it's you can see it on his clothes, but it's not like he wants to show it. It's just like good quality. That's all. And but there is something peculiar with his waistcoat. He has a waistcoat on the colors of the Black Watch. His old company of his old army retinue.
Mm-hmm. So, Morgan, you step into the library and you see surprising faces.
Oh, sorry to disturb. I was expecting the doctor. Who might you be?
We saw each other, didn't we? On the train.
Oh, true. You're Mr. Johan Willem.
Yeah, exactly. Mr. McCrashley, right?
That's it, yeah.
Yeah. Nice to meet you again. As far as I'm aware, you haven't been here since that time?
Yeah.
Because the doctor didn't actually come back from Constantinople. As far as I'm aware, he's still down there.
Oh, I thought he will be back.
I don't know. I've never. I didn't. I split ways with the others at that juncture, and met Miss Carter like a year after that. When my deployment put me to London, and as happened in her general vicinity, there were oddities to clear up. And Miss Carter, I guess, well, last month it finally took to her. And she didn't make it.
Well, what do you mean she didn't make it?
I'm assuming you know as much as anyone connected to here what's going on, right?
We're together on the train, no?
So, you know that she's able to do a couple of things, and then she kind of tried to summon something.
Fuck.
And she wouldn't stop when the combat was over, so we tried to make a feint and didn't. You know, things go badly. The human body is a fragile thing.
Oh. Where is the whiskey?
I'm just gonna grab two, and it's not a lot in there anymore because, yeah.
I to assume this is another one of your friends, Johan.
Well,
Sorry, my manners. Sorry, a little bit of shock, and I put my hands out, and you see my hand is scarred as well. Like Morgan D. McCrashley. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. I'm Deangelo. Somewhat an author. I haven't done much writing. Well, I hope you will sit down at least. And again, say catch up, but it'll be good to know you more.
I'll go grab a couple of whiskey glasses and just fill around with the remaining whiskey. On Miss Carter.
Yeah. Old lung sign.
So, I don't actually know a lot about you. To be honest, we didn't leave on the best of terms because I thought you guys were kind of responsible for the incident on the train.
Change your heart?
Well, I got to know the others, or at least Miss Carter and a couple of her friends. So I'm not sure why she didn't strike me as somebody purposefully doing something like this. So even if she was the one doing it, I'd assume it to be an accident, which, come to think of it now, makes that like karmic neutral, if you will. I don't know. I don't know so much about this world. I don't think I can judge people that I've just met on stuff like that. Unless they're like obviously attacking me, and you certainly weren't. So you were helping as good as you could, but you know, it's not gonna get Wolfgang back, so no need to be keeping a grudge over that.
Do you remember what I told you when a little before you left?
Sure.
I'm not a liar. And when you want to have the truth, you could still come back. But I think you learned the truth a little earlier than I thought.
Yeah. Well, why are you here then? If you were to, you were keeping your distance from this. Otherwise, you would have been here way earlier. So what brought you back?
What do you think?
I'm thinking, I know something. but I don't know specifics right now.
Let's say I was not trying to escape from it because my job brings me to it every time I do something. So again, a case, I come back to London, new case, and damn, it's happening again. Strange things that I can't explain. So first move is to come here and see if the society can help, or if I can help the society. Just a question, who's running this place now that Miss Carter isn't there anymore?
I think they set up some sort of fund for the society. I think the society is its own entity. But
as far as the authorities are concerned, Maddie is merely missing at the moment.
Yeah.
And it's, as far as you can tell, servants so far seem to have more or less just been carrying on as they normally do. But what the official stance is currently unclear. That would probably be a case to handle with the society's lawyer. Could you have one?
Well,
So,
I do not know too much about how this place works, but if it is help you need, I can provide whatever it is that I can.
much I don't know. It's like, how can I tell? Some lady hired me first to see if her husband was unfaithful to her. So I follow just, regular case. Sometimes you have to take it. And I followed the bloke. He went to writer. Can't get on his name again. Benedict, something like that.
Hughes.
Hughes.
Benedict Hughes.
Benedict Hughes, yeah. He was going to Mr. Benedict Hughes. Had a couple of meetings. And one night, still following them, still looking at the place. So how can I say? You remember on the train there was like sometimes strange lights when there are appearances like something strange happening, but same glowing light, same strange light in the house. The house filled with people, and the next morning the only person who's coming out is the husband of my client. Only him. So yeah.
You looked through the house already? Was it empty, or did the
No.
guys just stay in there?
I hadn't had the chance to see the house. Maybe I will go to Scotland Yard, see if I can have some information, but we don't have a contact anymore there. So it's maybe I was coming by to see if some of the society had contact in Scotland Yard, if they know about it, because I don't even know if they know about it.
Well, sounds like this time we can start with just basic looking into things. Hopefully it won't be anything too odd.
Yes. Where do you want to begin with this matter?
Well, we should check out the house to begin with.
Where was that house again?
The house was in. I haven't actually put it on the map yet. Add it. The house is probably over in Knightsbridge, somewhere down this way.
Okay, so we're in London then.
Yes,
So-
it is in London.
Knightsbridge.
The Mr. and Mrs. Newton live a bit outside of London, but the house of Benedict Hughes, where they've been visiting, is in London.
So, yeah, the house is near the Knightsbridge.
Well, let me grab my jacket and we can go. Do we wish to check them out together, or should we split up? I'm not officially any sort of agent of the law, so that may make asking questions a bit trickier.
I mean, none of you are officially agents of the law. You have jobs and you have associations.
I think I could write somebody a letter. Friendly one. So our private investigator gets the access that he needs for a case of his.
Oh, that could be handy.
Right? That might be something that we could use, right? And I'll start writing a very formal, a very, very, very polite letter to my very favorite police officer, inspector, replacement of Mr. Barnes.
Inspector Thorne.
Exactly.
Mr.
Yes.
Thorne.
I mean,
Who has
he
warmed
already
up
got one of
slightly
those.
to you after the incident with the plague, I believe.
Can you repeat the last sentence?
I said after the incident with the plague, I think he's coming around a little bit to the society. Like, you did help him resolve some issues there.
Yeah, that's true. And I'll just vaguely hint at that and ask him to, provide the legal framework so we can.
So just to clarify, what are you intending to do here? Because you don't actually need any legal permission to visit someone's house.
You're visiting, not, but visiting without them knowing or wanting is a certain different thing, and
Okay.
we
So
might
you're going to wait till everyone out in the house is out? Is that the plan? You want to stake it out and make sure it's empty? You don't.
We can just normally visit, but if we need to, we could have that in the backhand.
Okay. So you want to get the police involved, just to make that clear. You want to make them aware that you're interested in this.
Just Thorne.
I think I'll try to hint that it's probably wise not to make this a big splash, but having a piece of paper that says we are allowed to be here is probably a good thing. So something along the lines.
And what sort of crime are you trying to indicate might be going on here?
I think I would call this a potential Entführung, words, translations, kidnapping.
Okay, so you think going to say you think a kidnapping has
Somebody there might be people held in captive there. We would like to go and check that out because there's been oddities with the whole thing. And
Okay, so you're going to send a letter and you're going to wait for a response from the police. Is that the plan?
should we wait for it, or should we just go visit?
Yeah, or I was going to say, are you going to go there whilst this is going on in the background?
We can probably sit outside while we wait. There's no crime against simply waiting outside.
Okay. So the plan is to head over to this townhouse in Knightsbridge and sit outside until the police turn up? Or...
Just to keep an eye on the building, see if
Okay.
anything odd or suspicious happens.
Okay, and all three of you are going to do this?
I'll be back at my place because if the police answer me, there might be, the answer coming to me. So I'll go back to my place and
Okay.
find other stuff to do in between.
I'll stay with Mr. Williams to make acquaintance.
Okay, so Johan heads back to his house and Morgan and Deangelo, you head over to Mr. Hughes's address in Knightsbridge. Are you taking a carriage or are you walking? It's a walkable distance if you choose to, but you can take the carriage if you wish.
Perhaps we should walk. It will give us the opportunity to observe the house from all the angles without being suspicious.
Okay, so you head on over, it's a pleasant walk. You can cut across Hyde Park if you choose, past the Serpentine. The trees are just starting to turn as the first hints of autumn are in the air. And your path takes you past sort of large sites of construction, I believe, still at this point, around... I need to actually double check what date the Albert Hall was built, but I believe it's either recently built or in the process of being built. But past there, your path takes you to the house of Mr. Benedict Hughes. It's a smartly appointed townhouse, not quite as grand as the Esoteric Society, but respectable enough, with a black painted front door and a brick facade. You can see the curtains on both the downstairs and the upstairs windows have been drawn, looking at it from the front of the house.
Well, it looks normal, I suppose. Let's walk a circuit around, see if there's anything strange.
I say, so you head it's part of sort of a row of terraced houses. So to get around the back, sort of the road takes you around the back, and you can see the backs of all these townhouses with bits of garden and yard at the back. And it's hard to get close to the house at the back without sort of shimmying up a drain pipe or climbing over a wall. You can see there is a gate at the back of the house that would lead into a sort of yard area at the back of this house.
As we walk, Deangelo will keep an eye out for any occult symbols.
You don't see any occult symbols. You can hear sound from the other side of the wall. It's the sound of splashing water and scrubbing going on in the backyard. Sounds like if you've ever seen one of those sort of scrubbing boards where you put the linens on and then like scrub at them. It sounds like someone's doing some washing in the backyard.
Thing seems idyllic so far. Do you remember anything else from when you were here last time? Besides the lights?
No, the wasn't inside, so except the strange lights, no, nothing. Do I see something, with everything that happens with the rocks around the house and everything? Do I see something like that around the house?
No strange occult symbols, no weird snake rocks. It looks like an ordinary townhouse at the moment from this angle.
No snake people then. Okay.
Well, you never know. Anyone could be a snake person. An old lady walks down the street.
Oh, fuck.
morning. And carries
Um,
on her walk.
And when she's a little farther, never trust an old lady.
I will take your words and under advisement. What do we know about the owner of the house?
Except that he's a writer, not much. He writes, not fantastic books but yeah, he writes some novels, he writes some articles, yeah, but not much actually. That's I could maybe send a letter to my contacts. Maybe he's meddling in something like, trafficking with strange objects and everything. Like, it's worth try. Do you hear this as well? There's somebody in the backyard, no?
You can hear someone in the backyard.
Sounds like a washer of some sort, perhaps a maid or something.
It's worth a try. I know it's a little bold, but what do you think if I just ask the lady if everything is all right in the house, because I saw strange lights yesterday evening when I was passing by?
You could certainly do so. It may taint further opportunities, but
Yeah, we never know. Like, I maybe thought there was a fire, so I wanted to be sure that everything was fine. Your friendly neighbor, private investigator.
think it could work.
So, I go to the backyard. Would it be possible to do a spot hidden?
What are you looking for?
When I'm passing by, and when she's cleaning, when I'm arriving, and when she's cleaning and everything, I don't know what she's cleaning. So maybe see if I can see some stains of blood or something like that.
Give me a spot hidden as you open to the back gate. You can see there is a young maid, dark-haired woman, probably in her late teens. There, sort of scrubbing at linens, and an extreme success. You notice the water has a slight pink tinge to it that she's scrubbing out of these linens. And you can see she's got sort of a pile of... She's got clean stuff she started to hang out on the line, but there's also a pile of other dirty stuff to wash, sort of soaking in a tub. And that water is even pinker tinged. You can see, to make out the dirty linens, you've seen your fair share of blood. And what you can see here is a young woman scrubbing a large pile of blood-soaked linens.
Sorry. Sorry, I didn't mean to startle you.
Morning, sir.
Good morning. Is everything all right? Because yesterday when I was passing by, coming back from work, I saw a strange light, like maybe a fire. So I just wanted to be sure if everything was all right.
Oh, everything's fine, sir. Everything's fine.
You sure? Because you really seem startled there.
I mean, you just walked into the backyard. We weren't expecting a delivery today. So, usually the grocers come on Tuesdays.
All right. So sorry, I startled. Yeah. Okay. So if there is anything I can do, just don't hesitate. And does card already exist on this time?
Does what already exist?
Card, business card.
I believe so, yes. Calling cards, yes.
So I give my card to this lady. If everything is all right, just send me a telegram.
What does your card say? Does it have your profession listed on it?
Yeah, it is. It's like a private investigator. So I'm not really hiding something but it's a friendly visit. So I'm leaving. So say, have a good day, lady.
Good day, sir.
So I'm leaving. Did you follow Deangelo?
No, Deangelo made sure to stand away and out of view of the woman.
All right, cool. So I'm coming back to you, and we are walking a little further. If there is a corner around the corner, to be sure that we are out of view. And once we are out of view, I'll I don't know what happened there, but the lady who was scrubbing, she was scrubbing blood.
That is troublesome.
Yeah.
Right, well, I do not think you'll be able to learn much more staying outside.
Well,
Suppose we should go and attempt... Oh, right.
Sorry, no, you finish.
Suppose we should go and attempt to meet the master of the house.
We could.
Okay, so as you're having this conversation round the back of Mr. Hughes's house, Johan, do you have a telephone in your house?
I might.
Your telephone rings.
Hello?
Is that Mr. Zutanen?
Yes, hello. Who do I have here?
Inspector Thorne, Scotland Yard.
Exactly, yeah. Did my letter reach?
Yes, it was a little confusing. You claim a kidnapping. However, who precisely is it you think has been kidnapped?
Well, I'm not exactly sure about the specifics. There's been another oddity.
Look, if someone has been kidnapped, or if there's a body, give us a call and we will come and investigate. However, if you don't actually know that anyone has been kidnapped or have a name of someone that is missing, there is little we can do.
All right. Well, just in case, keep maybe an eye on the potential perpetrator, Benedict Hughes.
Alright, we will keep an eye out for Benedict, but we don't have limitless resources. We can't send officers around to investigate every person who may or may not have kidnapped someone you don't even know who they are.
That's true.
Look.
I just think that it's good that more people know that if there's something up.
Alright, well, as I said, give us a call if someone is dead or missing.
Sure, I will.
And please, do not set fire to any buildings.
I certainly don't intend to.
I've been going through my predecessor's case files. Please, I do not want any house fires.
Yeah, house fires are dangerous in big cities like that.
Exactly. Now.
Well,
hopefully this is the last I hear, but as I said, if there is a body, do tell us.
I will. Have a nice evening.
He puts down the phone.
I'll take a seat a moment. Think. And then I'm calling maybe a secretary, maybe an agent, something like that, to just inquire about the fire departments of London and if there's maybe a way to invest in those, just in case.
Okay. I'll have to look into Victorian Fire Service. Definitely fire insurance around at this time. Perhaps that's
Exactly.
where you get into the insurance business.
Something like that. To make money off of the accidents that we cause, basically.
Yes, that is a little bit fraudulent. But
That's
since
good
when does a
business
little bit of
manners.
fraud hurt anyone? Okay, so having placed these inquiries, are you carrying
Well,
on with your business?
that certainly did not give me the sort of blank check that I would have liked to have. But maybe the others found out something more than I did. But well, I want him, and potentially I might be able to use the Scotland Yard to clean up whatever mess we create. So I'll take my leave and go to the society again, or depending on how long it took. Right, if it didn't take that long for the officer to call me, I might just go towards
It would have taken
the
him a
address.
while.
It's been a while.
Yeah,
I'll go to the society then.
okay. So if you head over to the society, the other two gentlemen, did you say you were going round to the front door of Mr. Hughes's house?
Yes, that would be the plan.
Okay. Who's knocking on the door?
Well, Deangelo.
Okay. The knock echoes to the house on the other side, and you hear. Well, make me a listen check, please, actually, both of you. See what you do here. You don't really
Nothing.
hear much until you hear, after some delay, you hear footsteps, and then the door opens, and you see a man looking out at you. And he sort of looks you up and down. Morning, gentlemen. Can I help you?
Yes, hello. My name is Deangelo Williams, and I am relatively new to the city. I was intending to spend some time here and was looking to start a guild of authors. I've been told that you are a rather talented one, and I live somewhat near here.
Oh, merely a
And figured-
scribbler of tales and trivialities.
It is very humble of you, but I believe it is better to get all artists of the written word together, and I was wondering if you would be interested in such an endeavor.
Oh, I would certainly be interested. I'm sorry, this morning's not a good morning. Could we possibly, if you have a card, I could perhaps call upon you tomorrow. That would be convenient.
Or he will take out from his suit a small white card. It's definitely not made of the most expensive material. No, hand it over.
Thank you. Good day.
I hope your morning is better for you.
Yeah. Just a bit under the weather, that's all. Good day. And he shuts the door quite
Good day.
quickly.
Based on his appearance, did he seem well together or
Give me a psychology check,
Scrambled.
please.
I'm actually not bad at that one.
Oh, success. He seemed definitely out of sorts, nervous. Nervous about what? You're not sure, but he seemed his mind was elsewhere. And, yeah. Not pleased to see guests.
That was certainly interesting. Giving a quick look around, does anything seem off on the porch? Specifically, does anything seem broken? Maybe from a struggle?
Nothing broken, nothing damaged, all looks fine.
And, well, let's go and see what Johan has managed to come up with.
So,
Okay. And so you head back to the society where you find Johan waiting. Actually, you probably get here at similar times, given he was waiting around for a phone call. But Johan, you've not been there more than a few minutes when the other two arrive at the society.
Oh, welcome back. Did you get something?
We found a few things. I spoke with our author, and he certainly seems nervous or afraid of something. There are a few authors that are not interested in talking about their work, but this person seemed more interested in getting me gone as soon as possible. I believe Morgan found something else.
yeah, I met the landlady. I went to the backyard and I met a landlady of the house, and she was scrubbing some linen, you know, and yeah, she was scrubbing blood off.
I mean, there is, multiple ways to get blood on yourself. It's not actually saying anything.
Do you know a lot of ladies who scrubbing linen with blood on?
I mean, they could butcher a chicken.
Yeah.
Could have just painted their blood on their faces to make themselves impervious to damage.
That could be it as well. Yeah, this is the point. Yeah,
So
That's a
we're not getting any support from the law. I got on a bit of an annoyed phone call, so to speak. We can use the Scotland Yard to clean up if we had a body, but we kind of need something more concrete than colorful lights, or a kidnapping of somebody that I don't have, because I tried an actual excuse to get in there, but he was not willing to provide.
and it's maybe better knowing that Mr. Hughes is actually still breathing air.
Yeah. I mean, we could just break and enter, but
we can wait and see if these strange lights return. I have agreed to a meeting with Mr. Hughes at a different time to discuss an author's guild, so I may be able to buy you two some time inside if it comes to it.
If you do, I'll be around, because I don't want you to get in trouble. And if you do, I want to be there. I want to be there to be able to help.
Well, at least we have the beginnings of a plan. We wait outside the house this evening and give it a day or two, and I will invite Mr. Hughes out for tea and business.
I'll think I'll meet my client. I'll go to see my client, see if I can maybe get some. Just tell her what I know for the start, and maybe I can get some more information. We never know.
Is it somebody came out again?
From the house, only Mr. Newton, so the husband of my client.
Sure.
But
let's go and have the guy maybe tell us a bit what was doing there. He might have some information that he was not willing to share with his wife, but might be willing to share with some more involved people, especially if he's nervous or worried.
What we can do is that I know his wife doesn't want me to meet her with her husband. Obviously, maybe if I meet his wife, you can meet the guy.
Well, sounds like a plan. And Deangelo grabs the author, and everybody gets as much information in as short amount of time as possible, and well, we might be able to prevent another vanishing of people.
Okay. So are you wanting to go out and visit the Newtons today, or is that a job for tomorrow?
What time is it?
Lunchtime.
Depends. Well, normally I've got to meet with the client. What would be her preferences? Like, would it?
I mean, she'd normally take calls in the morning, like every good
So I will
lady.
call.
But if it's important, I'm sure she'd be happy to meet with you in the afternoon.
So I will ask somebody to call her to see if she's able to meet in the afternoon.
And yes, she would be.
And at her place?
Are you asking her to meet at her place, or are you asking her to meet elsewhere? This is your choice here.
Like, I think for her safety, I will ask to meet her somewhere else to be sure that she doesn't. No, at her place. I think it's better.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're heading on out to the outskirts of London to the house of Mr. and Mrs. Newton. Who's coming with you? Or are you going alone?
I'm currently thinking of how do I get the guy, Mr. Newton, to talk to me. I'm coming with Moen. On the way there.
And Deangelo?
Deangelo will go to the park. I believe you mentioned was on the way to Mr. Hughes's home.
Hyde Park, yes.
Yes, you'll sit there and keep an eye on the house while enjoying a day of peace.
Okay. There's some very lovely ducks in the park. You can feed the ducks if you wish. So as Deangelo feeds the ducks, the others catch a train or take a carriage, the choice is yours, some distance out of London, to the smart house of the Newtons. You're greeted at the door by a rather harried-looking maid-of-all-work. She's everything from the cook, the cleaner, that does everything sort of maid. You can tell from the house that they're fairly well off, but not rich enough to employ more than one servant. And certainly not with the degree of wealth from a lot of people you associate with. But the maid will show you through to the front parlour, where Mrs. Edith Newton is waiting. Oh, Mr. McCrashley. Good afternoon. Sorry, I wasn't expecting you. Well, any new news quite so soon. Is Johan there with you, or did you leave him outside?
I think is her husband still there? Is he with her?
You've not seen any sign of her husband
Okay.
yet.
I would just come within.
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh, sorry. Is this a colleague of yours?
Let's say it like that. Yes. There's been a couple of oddities happening, and do you know where your husband is currently?
He's at work.
He's at work, and that would be where?
The bank. He works for.
I see.
Over at the Bank of England offices.
Well, I will leave the two of you to it then.
Should be back home in a couple of hours.
Oh, that doesn't.
We've got plenty of time to talk before he gets back. So, you have the information. Have you found out who she is?
I might say he. Who he is.
I'm sorry, I didn't understand.
The person he's visiting is not a she. It's a he.
Excuse. Oh.
I'm not.
What's he? No.
Maybe it's not what you expected. Maybe it is. I'm still not there, but just wanted to let you know that it's a he, not a she.
No. That. I don't know. You must have got it wrong.
Does the name Benedict Hughes ring a bell?
The author?
Yeah, the author.
Yes. He. Awful books, but he was at Oxford with Giles. They were part of a book club or something. I don't know. What's he got to do with any of this?
He's a person your husband is visiting.
Well, why would he need to hide that he was visiting Giles? That Giles was visiting Benedict Hughes? Like,
You tell me.
makes no sense at all.
That's what I said. Maybe not what you expected, but you asked me to find who is visiting.
Are you quite sure that he wasn't just visiting Benedict once and he was normally visiting the other woman?
No. I'm sure he was visiting...
I have started to have some doubt in your credentials, sir. Benedict Hughes.
When was the last time you spoke about him?
Oh. I think months back. Benedict had published something or other. Giles suggested I read it. It was awful stuff, all like blood and secret societies, that sort of nonsense.
And does your husband seem interested?
What, in...
Yeah, in this nonsense.
I mean, he reads it. It's in a fanciful sort. But, he's grown out of all that. Sure.
Yeah, maybe. Does he know you don't like it?
Of course he does.
That's maybe the reason he hid from you that he was meeting the guy.
Maybe, but... So there is no other woman?
Not that I know of. Still not met. But yeah, for the moment, yeah, that's the only thing I found. Yeah.
Right. Well, in that case, if that's what you found, then I suppose this brings our engagement to an end. How does this work? I've never employed a private investigator before. Do you send the bill, or?
You know what? It's on the house, lady.
Oh. You sure?
Yeah, I'm sure. If you need me, you have my contact.
Well,
I didn't do.
Kind of you, sir.
I didn't do much, so I brought you information. Do you accept that he's a writer? Do you know something about him? Because the guy seems a little odd.
I mean, he's a weird fella, but Giles used to hang around with all sorts of odd sorts. But,
all in the strange kind of things.
no, just, weird people. Not, well, some of them were the right sort of people, but not all of them. But,
Not meddling in artifacts and everything like that. No, just strange.
Artifacts? Like,
Yeah, like
I mean, oh, I have an uncle with an old coin collection. You mean like that?
yeah, something like that. Or statues, or stamps, or rocks sometimes.
Oh, no, he's not really in stamp collecting, no.
All right.
He sometimes does a bit of train spotting at the weekend.
A what?
Train spotting, going out and looking at trains.
Oh, right. Train spotting. All right. So, yeah, if you
He
need
has a
me...
little notebook and everything.
Oh. Nice. So, I will take my leave, dear lady. If you need me, just call. Normally, I have somebody who's answering the phone, so just leave a message and I will get it.
Oh, of course, yes. I will do. Very good. Thank you very much.
I wish you a good day, and I'll leave.
Good day. So, Johan, were you heading off without Morgan? Was that the plan?
Yeah, I was heading off and leaving the two for their discussion, assuming that there might be some more information from the husband to glean from the husband, and just showing up at his bank, asking for him to to talk about maybe money, maybe stuff.
Okay, so yeah, the person at the front desk doesn't keep you waiting very long. You're well dressed and clearly someone of importance. In fact, actually, make me a credit rating roll for just how long you're kept waiting.
That is a hot success.
You're not kept waiting at all. You're there, and someone very quickly fetches Mr. Giles Newton down to see you, and he ushers you through into his office. Mr. Satan and Mr.
Yeah.
Is that correct, sir?
Yeah, that's correct.
Sorry, I wasn't expecting. I don't have a meeting in my calendar. I wasn't expecting this. What can I do for you?
Well, I was on one hand thinking about a bit of an investment, and on the other hand, there's been a couple of oddities that I'm interested in, that have come to my ear. And I was thinking I was gonna ask you, because you were seen at the person's address. Do you know about Mr. Benedict Hughes?
Oh yes, Hughes. Of course, yes. Old pal from Oxford.
Old pal from Oxford?
Not seen him in a while.
Not like yesterday evening?
No. You must be mistaken.
You see, how am I taking that? There's a couple of odd things that tend to happen all over the world, right? And some of those odd things are just odd, and some of those odd things are more dangerous. And if those dangerous things keep happening, you kind of have to do something about that, right? And now there's odd things that you don't know whether they're dangerous or not. And so you kind of have to go and look after them to discern whether they're dangerous or not.
Right.
So I would ask you again. You were at Mr. Hughes yesterday evening, and there's been colorful lights and weird apparitions is the right word. And I would like to know what happened.
Alright, please give me either a charm or a persuade roll here, I think is best suited.
Sure. That is hard success.
Look. Okay. Was at Benedict's house last night,
Mm-hmm.
but none of what happened was my fault. None of it was my idea.
It's fine. I just want to know what happened. So
It was all Benedict and Peter. It was their idea. I was just dragged into it.
Mm-hmm.
We have a book club, a meeting of like-minded people.
People interested in the occult.
Yes.
Yeah, that's fine. I would
Peter,
call myself one. Great.
Benedict and myself, we met at Oxford, and we used to know some other people who were into that sort of thing. We've since drifted out of touch with most of them due to a series of unfortunate instances, but we won't get back into that at the moment. But recently, Benedict suggested restarting the old society, the Christchurch boys and everything. Get the old gang back together. So we started having meetings. You see, Peter had something he'd been keeping since since things happened. Looking after for a friend who died in a very unfortunate house fire.
Who was that friend?
You probably, you might know him, Earl.
Earl Grey.
You know him, yes, Archibald Grey.
Yeah, he died in a house fire, as far as I'm aware. Yeah.
Yes, Benedict had something he'd been looking after for Earl Grey, and we just seeing what we could do, and oh dear God. Look, this is going to sound insane.
Fine.
Essentially, the long and short of it, as I said, none of this was my idea.
We already cleared that. You're fine. I'm not a law enforcement officer.
No.
How would stuff like that be covered by the law anyway, right?
He sort of clams up a little at the mention of the law, like realizing what he was about to say. He goes, "Look, no one would believe it if you told them, right? They'd think you were mad. They'd lock you away."
Albrecht. How's it called? Albrook, right?
Oh, that place down in Brighton.
Yeah, like the unfortunate Mr. Belfont, I think.
Don't know any Belfonts. I think Gray's daughter was there. No, niece.
Right.
Was there for a while. Anyway,
Yeah.
Look, the long and short of it is Peter sort of exploded.
That's a drastic accident.
It was. Believe me, it was awful.
So, what exactly was he doing before he exploded?
There was a an artifact.
Yeah.
That Benedict had got off Grey. It's not much to look at. It's like a pyramid made of glass. And he put it in a circle and said some words. And then Peter exploded.
Wow. Okay. You have no idea what it was intending to achieve.
We were trying to make contact with a higher power. At least that's what Benedict said.
What? Do you know which one?
He called it the Lord of Starry Wisdom.
Okay. So, don't think I have to say that again. That it's not a smart idea to contact things that large.
Sincerely, it wasn't my idea.
Yeah, I mean, you're not gonna get that idea anymore again, I think. Because
Trust me.
I assume.
After what I've seen, I am never going near anything like that ever again. I swear to you.
Smart. So, I would ask you to try and write down anything for me that you remember that might be relevant of that event.
I mean, it's all a bit of a blur, as I said. He had this glass
Understandable.
pyramid in a circle and something about the Lord of Wisdom, and then just blood everywhere. Just everywhere.
Does your sense of time fit with the length that you were gone?
I don't.
That's fine.
He called his maid. He found me some new clothes and then sort of piled me out the door and told me not to say anything. Look, but please, I can't. If I get arrested for this,
You're not.
we'll have to Edith. But like,
You're not. Don't worry.
I can't do this to her.
And you guys go. You guys earn by provision, right?
I'm salaried.
Oh, well, that's inconvenient. Because I'm gonna switch topic and start investing in fire departments. Right then.
So he seems a little befuddled by the sudden change of topic, but yeah, he will start discussing investments in fire departments with you.
Perfect.
And yeah, he's sort of taken aback by this situation that he doesn't even question why you're asking so many questions about fire departments. Like, that is the last thing on his mind at the moment.
Yeah, well, this is basically my intention of basically bribing him for the information that he's given me, and well, if he doesn't actually get provision from the for the sales, the bank's certainly going to be happy with him. So,
Yes.
so
Yes.
this might be worthwhile.
So Johan is discussing finances, Deangelo is feeding the ducks, and Morgan heads back into London after his discussion with Mrs. Newton. And as you're all sort of reaching the end of that first day of investigation, I think this is as good a point as any to take a 10-minute break. And the midroll has not been updated since last time, so there may still be a glorious wonder of typos and weird artifacts in there. Enjoy. we are back. So, after you've all been your separate ways, either gathering information or feeding very important ducks, do you wish to reconvene at the society that evening, or are you all still going about your own plans that evening?
I can return to the society to meet with all the others.
Okay.
I think I'll do the same, yeah.
Yeah, so you meet up again in the society. Refreshments provided by the ever helpful servants. As you can share what information you have gathered today.
I did not find anything while watching our friend's home. Everything seemed ordinary.
Well, I might have a couple of things that Mr. Newman told me. You see,
No, go on. I'm interested.
Sure. Mr. Newman had at first denied having met the man, but I kind of kept poking a little, and he told me he and his friends that he knew Mr. Hughes from back in university days, and they met up for their occult hobby book club, so to speak. So far, so normal. It's just that one of their friends, a certain Peter, had a little glass pyramid that was keeping for Earl Grey.
Oh.
Yeah. And he tried to contact with the other two an entity called the Lord of Starry Wisdom, which, as names go for these entities, is almost cute. Well, what happened is that Peter detonated into a pile of blood and gore. And understandably, he didn't want anybody to know that he was involved somehow in that. And so what I would say is that we kind of need to make sure that that glass pyramid goes somewhere it's not getting retrieved from. Maybe this can have a calm ending without anybody ever having to burn down my house. Not that I wouldn't mind now, but I had him take a couple of business opportunities for me as well, because I was already at the bank. Why not combine business and pleasure, or business and business? Oh well, whatever.
So it wasn't chicken blood.
No, it was not.
I got a quick question for the keeper. Lord Grey was the husband of the lady in the graveyard?
He
With the
was
graveyard?
related to the lady from the graveyard, yes. I think that was his wife who...
You changed in a strange creature.
Yes, his wife turned into a strange creature.
The necklace was something Egyptian-like as well, no? If I remember.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. He had the necklace of Nitocris, which is somewhere now.
I don't know if you were aware, but we were on a case a few years back now, something related with Earl Grey. His wife had sort of talisman, some called the Talisman of Nitocris, and something Egyptian as well. That's why I mentioned it up. And his wife changed in a strange, like, dog, wolf, human thing, and attacked us while we were in the graveyard. And yeah, we barely escaped this day. So yeah, the second thing, Egyptian related object related to Mr. Gray as well.
There's plenty of cultures that built pyramids, not just the Egyptians. The Nubians, the Aztecs.
True, but
pretty easy so far.
Just wanted to let you know that it's the yeah. He was already, if it is, it's not the second, it's the second time Egyptian related objects are related with the name Gray. You never know in the future.
Keeper, have I heard of this starry wisdom person before?
Give me... please give me a mythos roll or an occult roll.
Better with occult.
They'll give you different amounts of information. You can make both if you want.
Got a success. Oh, okay, I'll make both.
So...
Oh.
You have heard mention of something called the Cult of Starry Wisdom. That you don't really know specifics, but they're involved in seeking out wisdom from distant sources. And you seem to recall that there's a lot to do with dreaming involved in their practices. And the idea that when you dream, you can commune with beings in another realm. That there are powers there that can teach us things.
Well, I'm afraid I don't know too much about this cult of wisdom or whatnot. But assuming that they are real, you should be careful. I have to do with dreaming or nightmares or some such.
Well, my thought currently is to just talk to Mr. Hughes, take the pyramid, and hide it away. Just convince him to give it up. I mean, I clearly saw what happened to his friend. That's not something to engage anymore, right? Maybe he'll just let go of it. And if he doesn't, well, kinda need to go get it anyway.
Only one way for us to find out. We wish to go and pay him a visit tonight, or...
Here's the question. Tonight or tomorrow, when it's best to go and pay a call on Mr. Benedict Hughes?
Well, the earlier the better, I'd say.
So, and let us meet with him this evening. Hopefully we can wrap this up faster than the other issues.
Okay, are you calling ahead or are you turning up unannounced?
I think unannounced sounds like a plan. At the same time, I'm thinking if we should take precautions or not.
I'm bringing a gun.
Okay, you're bringing a gun. Anyone else want to bring any weapons to this little friendly chat?
Well, I'll have my Reggie with me, but...
We've got one gun and one rapier in the mix as you go and... is that 2 guns for Morgan or 2 guns total?
No. I will take 1 gun and my knife. You know, I always have my knife. I always have my gun, so...
Okay.
I bought new ones from the last time in Paris, so I put them in the sewer, so I bought new ones now.
I mean, there's only 2 people in there. There's no need for the shield, right?
That's perfectly logical. So, yes, you head over to Hughes's house as you're sort of arming out and setting out into the evening. Deangelo and you both have this sort of slight memory of, what occurred the last time the 2 of you headed out together with weaponry. You remember all the bodies that were left behind.
I'm gonna turn around. I'm gonna look at James and ask him, you wouldn't have happened to have butchered something today?
No? Why did you butchered something?
I mean, if you had fresh blood, that would have been useful. Never mind.
No. Look, if you've got to ask for these sort of things in advance. We don't just keep it around the house.
Yeah,
So last time, Mrs. Bramley's really not keen on this whole blood thing. And I don't blame her. Do you know how hard it is to scrub blood out of the walls?
Oh, right. Yes. It'll be fine, right? It's just, I have a really bad feeling. Last time went really poorly. It'll be fine. We're just talking, right? What's supposed to go wrong? Did it?
Yes. So, without any blood magic on you this time, you head over to Hughes's house. You can see as you approach, there is a light on in a downstairs window. There's also a light shining through one of the upstairs windows. Who's knocking on the door this time? And are you all going round the front?
I mean, I'm gonna just go knock on the door.
Okay.
I'm going to the front as well.
Morgan, you're with him as well? Okay. You knock on the door. There's a moment and then the door opens a crack. And you see a woman sort of peering out. Morgan, you recognise the maid you saw from the backyard. Johan, would you mind making me a spot hidden roll, please?
Sure.
I think spot hidden's the best one. Okay, never mind.
That's fine.
Good evening.
Good evening. I'm sorry for the late disturbance. Would you mind getting Mr. Benedict Hughes down here? It's kind of important.
Mr. Hughes is retired for the evening.
We can wait a little. It's a really important matter.
Oh, he's not. He went to bed early. Headache.
Did you leave the light on then?
Oh, I'm just finishing up a few jobs.
I see. Well, it's about yesterday evening's happenings. And it's kind of important that we meet as soon as possible to prevent harm. She probably noticed what happened yesterday.
Are you threatening her?
I mean, I'm not trying to be particularly brutal about it.
Essentially, are you trying to threaten her, persuade her, or win her over with a sort of charming manner? This sounds more like a threat.
I mean, it's kind kind of a threat, yeah. Though being charming is better for my.
Yeah, I think it doesn't seem charming. This seems more persuasion or intimidation.
It doesn't seem to be working.
It's not a success. She goes,
Roll 20 doesn't like me today.
look, I'm really sorry. But he's asleep by now. He doesn't like being woken up. Perhaps best you come back in the morning. And he starts to go to shut the door.
Sure. I'm gonna put my foot in the door.
Morgan, I think you're muted. Johan, make me a dex roll, please. And anyone who wants to try and stop this door, essentially, stick a foot in it, stick your hand in it. Yes, you've got your foot in the door. She can't close it all the way. Sir, might I ask you to please remove your foot, sir?
I really don't like moving like that. Did you really, gonna right
She pushes the door a little further, like
into my foot?
into your foot.
Is there like one of these little chains in the way?
It doesn't have a chain on it now. It's just a door.
I'm just gonna look at Morgan.
All right. And I arrived at the door and say, "Lady, if you want to get pushed over, just move out."
Are you pushing the door? Is that your plan here? Or are you trying to get this?
I'm trying to warn her beforehand because I really don't want to hurt her.
She shakes her head and holds fast to the door.
Okay, kick the door.
Okay, give me a strength roll here. And I presume your strength bar of success is probably going to be higher than hers. But let's see what you get.
Strength roll. She's maybe strong. We never know.
Yeah, she's got a success. But you have a hard success. You push the door back. The maid lets out a little yelp as the door flies open. You have access to the house.
Yeah, go on.
Well, go in and apologize again to the lady, and then start moving and start looking for the freaking pyramid.
So you're heading straight into the house. Morgan and Deangelo, you're going in as well.
I go to the maid and see if she's all right.
So yeah, she's inside the house, so you have to go in to get to her.
Yeah, I'll go in and.
Yeah, she doesn't seem injured. She just seems like you've pushed her back out the way. She's not injured.
I'm really sorry, but I don't want any other persons to explode this evening,
Yeah. Are you inside the house as well?
Yes.
Are you shutting the door behind you, or are you leaving it open as all this is going on?
Closing the door.
Okay, you close the door behind you. The maid looks a bit shaken, and you hear a voice from upstairs calling, "Queenie? What's going on down there, Queenie?"
I'm gonna go upstairs.
And you see sort of peering over the upstairs, like if you go upstairs, you see sort of peering at the top of the landing, wearing a dressing gown and like a nightcap, is the same man you encountered at the door before. Mr. Hughes.
Mr. Hughes. I'm sorry for the
What are you doing in here?
interruption.
You just break into my house? You can't just do that.
No, no. I was going to tell the sir that letting people explode and don't tell to everybody you can't do it as well. So.
Look, I don't know who told you what, but it's a load of old crock. Now get out of my house.
Well,
please.
There is an item in your possession that might be pretty dangerous in the wrong hands. And to be honest, I'd rather not have a repeat of yesterday evening. So if you would be so polite as to just hand that over.
Oh, give me a persuasion roll here. So
I really
you're
don't
trying to
want
talk
have
to
a
him.
mess.
What are Deangelo and Morgan doing in this moment?
I'm giving you the point and
D'Angelo's
luck.
looking around.
Oh, you're giving the point and look to make that an extreme success.
Mhm. Because I can.
I like what you do.
Yeah. Wait there.
Sure.
Don't hurt Queenie.
Oh, we don't intend to.
And he scurries off into one of the upstairs rooms. Leaving you sort of awkwardly waiting, like, in the whole sort of stairwell area. Maid sort of brushes her skirts down, stands up a bit straighter. And a moment later, Mr. Hughes has re-emerged with... He's got this little bundle. It looks to have been wrapped up into what looks like a handkerchief, essentially. So he's got this little handkerchief wrapped around a small bundle. And he comes down the staircase, and who's at the top of the staircase? Who's nearest to him?
I think I was the one talking, so probably
Yeah.
me.
He holds it tentatively out to Johan, just outstretched hands, little bundle resting on his palm.
Well, I'll take the bundle and peek below it if the crystal pyramid is below there.
As in, he's got it wrapped up in a... He's got the crystal pyramid wrapped in a... What you presume is the crystal pyramid wrapped in a handkerchief.
Yeah, I'll open the handkerchief up just a little to peek in, if it's in there, and then close it up.
Yeah, inside you see a pyramid of this dark red glass. Now I've got a... Maybe an intelligence roll, please. I think intelligence is the roll for this.
It's a red glass pyramid, it's fine.
It's a red glass pyramid.
Just
That's
put
fine.
that away.
You took it away in your pocket.
Exactly.
I don't think...
Good.
There wasn't there. I don't think Morgan was there. So,
I know,
yeah,
I
it's
know.
tucked away. Right.
Good.
Is that all you came for?
Yeah, that's everything.
Oh.
As long as, we don't need happenings like that again. These things are dangerous. If anything happens, I'm just gonna write down the Grosvenor Square. Just send somebody here.
Right.
And yeah, my condolences about your friend yesterday. And I'll turn around and and just leave some money for the door. Sorry about that.
Oh, I don't think it's damaged.
Oh,
It's a study door.
Just, check it over in case. I'll leave the money there anyway. Got no value.
Right.
D'Angelo would like to check to see if he is lying. Specifically, is he lying by omission? So does he seem... When Johan had asked him, when he asked Johan if there was anything else, did he seem relieved that Johan didn't mention anything else?
Give me a psychology check.
Win anything.
He seems nervous. He seems like befuddled by this whole situation, but beyond that, you can't really tell.
Was a good idea. But rolling twice kind of feels cheesy. Oh well. Cheesy does.
He just seems in... You see, actually, what you see as he hands over the pyramid, you see relief in his face. Like, you see that
He's glad
just
to be...
seems quite glad to be rid of this thing. Like...
Alright. Sure. Perfect. Fits fine.
It's someone else's problem now.
Well, I'll be taking this with me then, and we'll meet up at the society.
Okay. So you exit Hughes's house with a little good night from the maid, who firmly shuts the door behind you.
That went quite well. To be honest, I kind of have the feeling he's kind of glad to be gotten rid of it. So...
Too simple.
Yeah, are we gonna take a look at that thing? Or are we gonna just throw it in the dungeon to the other crap?
Do you mind letting me take a look at it?
Yeah, sure. Let's wait until we're in the library, in case yeah, you know.
Okay, so you head back to society and back to the library. By now it's late in the evening. Oh, it's nighttime really. But
Yeah, put it in the middle of the
the lamps are
room.
lit. It sort of glitters in the lamplight, of light glittering off the facets of this dark red glass it seems to be made of.
And it's looking quite good.
It feels cold to the touch. Slight
This
chill
all
to it.
seems too simple.
Does it always have to end up in a firefight or a fire?
No,
So far as the thing has.
but we are not used to that it goes so simple. Normally there's a snake coming, there is fire, there is
You ask me.
ghosts in a train.
Deangelo will look at the pyramid and kind of rotate it. Are there any like spots where like an object would be inserted in or removed?
No, it just seems to be a pyramid of. Actually, it's probably not. Looking at it more closely, not glass so much as it seems to be crystal. Some kind of crystal substance. You can see there are definitely sort of bolts and marks in it, but it's quite clear. So it's not. You're not certain is this sort of something that's been manufactured or something that's been carved. But either way, it's just a cool, cold pyramid of red glass.
Am I able to tell if it's real? This isn't like a pyramid he bought from a store recently.
Make me an appraise check, please.
No.
One of those less used rolls.
Can I try as well the praise?
Yeah, if you're giving it an appraisal. This would be when you miss Mortimer, who I think was quite good at appraising things.
Yeah, I'm quite no, not good at it. Appraise was the money like? It's the money like no, it's not.
It's towards the very start of the list. I think it's just after accountancy. Yeah, appraise is used for how much stuff is worth, but also.
Oh, fumble.
Actually, you drop it on the floor.
Oh, perfect.
And it like rolls slightly, hits the edge of the nearby cabinet, and it's perfectly fine.
So it's not glass. Maybe it's
well,
moving?
Actually, it does now need to have a little chip out the top of it.
Oh.
The very tip is missing. There's a little chip gone from the top.
Oh, well. Well, worst comes to the worst, we can just hit it with a hammer.
That seems oddly fragile, but I didn't see anything out of the ordinary with it.
Johan, something is nagging at your mind. And I'm going to ask, now you're back home, now you're examining it more closely, I'm going to ask for another intelligence roll of Johan. No, you still can't put your finger on it. There's something about this pyramid that seems awfully familiar.
I think I'm gonna write a letter to a friend that's traveling currently. And describe the pyramid and describe that the curiosity that I'm feeling and can't put my finger on it, what it is.
Okay, so your plan is to pen a letter to Marlena?
Yeah, exactly.
What is everyone else's plans in either the immediate or the short term? After you've resolved possibly the simplest case the society has ever faced. Either that, Or in the absence of Maddie Carter, the rate of murder and burning buildings has declined rapidly.
Deangelo will attempt to use his dreaming abilities to learn more about this pyramid.
Okay, you want to,
He's-
how would you like to do that? Are you going to put it under your pillow at night, or?
He is going to try and think about the pyramid really hard while sleeping.
Okay. So what about Morgan? What's your plans in the short and medium term? Or is this case closed? Seal the file and move on to the next job?
No, I'm not. It's not my kind of doing things. So I'm going to go past the house of Benedict Hughes before I go to my home. And once I'm home, I'm going to prepare a telegram to send early in the morning to my contacts. My contacts of everything that's concerning artifacts, stolen artifacts and everything, and imported artifacts. See if that's this pyramid means something to them.
Okay. So. As you all part and you go your different ways, I think the fallout from this, much of this may be for future sessions. What Morgan's contacts have to say, what Marlena has to answer to Johann's letter. But Deangelo, I think we can cover what your dreams might bring you. I'm going to ask you to give me a roll here. I think you should have on your sheet dreaming.
I do indeed.
You have
A success.
Yeah, alright. A success in dreaming the dream you want to dream here. Or at least dreaming the direction you want to dream. You find your mind wandering back to a familiar stair. Down and down. The endless stair leading down to another realm, another place. But this time at the foot of the stair you don't find the strange forest you saw before. Instead, there is someone sat waiting at the foot of the stair. A figure, dressed very properly, in full dark skirts and a smart blouse, her hair pinned up neatly. You see, sat waiting at the foot of the stair, with a ball of wool down by her side and knitting needles crossed across her lap. It's none other than Maddie Carter. And as she sees you, she looks up. And although it's Maddie's face, when she opens her mouth to talk, it's not Maddie's voice that emerges. It doesn't sound quite like her. The cadence is wrong. It's not her. It's wearing her face, but this is not her voice. It goes, Deangelo! How good of you to come. You come seeking wisdom, I suppose. Answers, is that it?
Be said.
Well, ask away, ask away. What is it you want to know? What brings you dreaming into these lands?
What is this pyramid's purpose?
Oh, that. somewhat crude device for getting my attention. Used by worshippers, dedicants, all manner of things. People wish for answers, people wish for wisdom, and not all of them are as adept at slipping into the dreamlands as you are. So they choose other methods to speak with me, to call to me.
And what
Hence
is
the
your
pyramid.
purpose?
My purpose? Me? I am merely a benefactor. I offer help where help is needed, wisdom where wisdom is desired, answers where they are wanted.
Why?
Why? To watch what happens. And because nothing is ever free.
And what is your price?
I ask for small favours in return.
Small according to you, or small according to...
A word in someone's ear. An item taken from here to there. Nothing big, nothing grand. Not yet. Just little pieces. But what I can offer in return is so much greater. Anything you wish to know, wish to understand, I can help you with that. I could give you knowledge, power. Whatever it is you seek, it's mine to provide.
Why do you look like her?
Oh! Maddie? Why does anyone look like anything here? She was... Her loss saddens me. She had great potential. Her end came too soon. I had plans for her. Plans that will now have to be postponed. But I thought I would honour her by letting her live on a little longer. Only in the dreams.
What happened to her?
A long and messy story, that's for sure. She reached out to things that she should not have reached out to. Not me. All I ever did was sought to help her, to protect her and to guide her. But alas, she called to powers beyond mine. To beings far greater than I. Some things are not meant to be touched by mortal minds. The harm was too great,
And you
and even
are?
I could not shield her. Me? A friend. I've had many names and many faces. For you? What is it they call me? This is a nice one. I like this one. The Lord of Starry Wisdom. Or I guess in this case, the Lady of Starry Wisdom, that would be.
And what were those other people after?
Which ones? There have been so many.
The ones who had the pyramid before I did.
Oh, those fools. They didn't know what they were asking for. They didn't know what it was they had. I believe they wanted a demonstration of power. So I showed them.
So now what?
Well, now? Well, I'll let you think on this. I don't ask you to rush to make a decision. But you know where to find me, should you seek me. And should you seek anything, come to me and I will provide. a small price. Until then,
I assume I don't find out the price until after I've received what I wanted.
oh, you're a smart one, Deangelo. Smart indeed. Well, think on it. And sweet dreams. And as you return to wakefulness, I am going to ask you to make me a sanity roll.
I said rolling. Can I just not roll the dice? And it's extreme success.
Oh, you are perfectly fine with what you saw. How much of it you believe and how much you think is merely a dream is up to you. But as the others wait for responses, as Deangelo ponders his encounter, I think that's maybe where we have to draw to a close tonight's adventure. Other adventures lie ahead, but those are stories for another night. And so we leave the Esoteric Society and its scattered remnant members. And sort of picture the scene. We see the house as the lights are going off in the evening, as the servants are dimming the lanterns. And imagine the camera panning in through an upstairs window. You see a bedroom. The bed's not been slept in for over a month now. The sheets are crisp. No one has disturbed the items on the dressing table. What you do see is one curious item sat on the mantelpiece above the fire. A small pyramid of red glass, small enough to fit into the palm of your hand. And at the very top of it, a tiny chip of missing glass. And that is where we end for tonight. Next week, we will be back. Next week, we get to see what else is going on in the society as we revisit the servants of the household in the wake of Miss Carter's death and a shift change in what's going on in the society. And see what they're going to do with all the things they have been left and how they handle the transition of who does run the society now. All of its original members are dead or gone. Many of its second lot of members are, apart from I think Morgan's the only one who's around at the moment. Franco is goodness knows where in the dark waters. Mortimer is off gallivanting in Constantinople. Augustus Green has returned to his haunts in the East End. And there are newer faces around now, with their own goals and their own aims. We'll see how all of this ties together. But until then, thank you very much to my players, and thank you for, I think, the first case solved without anyone. I mean, I was going to say without anyone dying, but someone did die to begin with. But you didn't kill anyone, and nothing caught fire.
That's a first round achievement. Yes!
Yeah, it's bizarre, really. And yes, the society is now in the possession of 2 small red glass pyramids. Or 1 small red glass pyramid.
Who knows? I forgot.
But until we're back next week, if you've not caught them, past episodes of this will be up on the Ishval YouTube. Past episodes of everything else over on McStabbers is on the McStabbers YouTube, much more sensibly named. I don't have Eben here to tell me what the schedule is, so I'm going to guess. I'm going to guess that there is Vampire tomorrow with Windy City After Dark.
Indeed, yeah.
Indeed, yes. I am going to Yes, that... I actually have no idea what else is on. This is my greatest chance to plug the Discord. Provider of information 100% more reliable than anything I say. If you're not on the Discord, come to the Discord. And all your questions will be answered. For just such a small, small price. But... well, unless anyone else has anything to say or to remind me that I should have said, I think all that remains is to say good night, and it's not too late to catch the end of Eurovision. So, good night, everyone.